makes sense. Why would you ever wish good luck to the team you're playing against, right?
Yeah. I can imagine wishing them good luck, but telling them to have fun, no.
No, I'm the
hate life.
No, I'm the opposite. Like we can all have fun and be happy. But I don't want you to win. I want the points. I want to go to TI, stuff like that, right? Like, it's kind of fake. Everyone is fake. What do you mean, good luck?
Good luck, have fun in a game against Lizard, he's gonna flame you. Like, what the hell is this, bro?
Yeah, shut up. You don't mean it.
Game 2. About to start with a pretty standard rune trade, it seems. 2-2 for both sides. Nobody gonna suffer too much damage. Although there is a bit of a difference in terms of the ward placements. Nemiga, obviously playing from Dire side, have opted to try and protect the bounty rune slot and a bit of the
the sentry on bottom lane. The play has been made on the tier 2 tower. It's gonna delay the creeps that are going into the lane. Meanwhile, Navi is trying to actually body block, it looks like, the dire creeps, but if they do this, they might take a lot of damage. Let's see what happens, but an interesting play nonetheless.
Oh snap! Oh snap!
Yeah, 3 CS under the tower, not bad, nothing denied.
Trying to put in some harass early on, but it's not going to last. Unfortunately, it is a Dawnbreaker. She's going to hit level 2 soon, and she'll be A-OK in the lane.
Tell me, Snare, minute 4, what's happening? Do we see any kills? How many shekels are you putting?
Alright, 200 shekels.
200?
200.
I put 1,000 the last time.
Okay, 2,000 shekels.
Okay, 2,000.
First blood is only gonna have 5
What do you choose, though?
It's gonna take even longer. 5 minutes first blood is gonna happen in the top lane.
5 minutes? Oh, that's very specific. Okay, I am. So by minute 5, first blood is gonna happen on top. That's what you're saying. Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. My shekels are on. It's not happening. First blood might happen, but not top. There you go.
Okay. Basically, I'm expecting, I'll even tell you who the hero that's going to be that's going to make the rotation. It'll be Meloyo on Primal Beast just before he hits level 6. 5 minutes in, going top, and that's where they're going to get their kills.
You know what?
Shekels, baby.
You might lose your shekels, but if you win, it's going to be glorious. It's going to be a glorious prediction. Do you have the script? Is that what it is?
Downloaded the script. And the script for this early game tells us so far, and anything surprising? For me, the big surprise is how well this DK is doing in the mid lane. Like, Malreen is not supposed to be winning this hard, is he?
What is it? 11-5 versus 6-2. I mean, it's hard to play against DK, but yeah, he's really crushing this primal mid.
Doing a phenomenal job. Sadly, it is DK versus Primal Beast, so the two of them can't really kill each other. Just have to trade CS and trade farm. See, bottom, same kind of trades are happening. Top lane as well. Everyone's just trading, man. People are nervous. It's TI qualifiers. They don't want to be making mistakes at the moment.
Yeah, but usually what happens is when players don't want to make mistakes, they don't do anything, right? Like they just become very passive. I don't see it here. They're still doing a lot, so it's enjoyable if nothing else. No first blood still though.
Just keep it going for 2 more minutes, y'all. Get me my shekels. I'll be very happy.
Anything crazy so far? I'm not seeing any strange things. I'm waiting for Hellscream to see what he is queuing up as the first item on Skyrat. Besides that, like, the lanes are quite, I guess, very, very close. We were going for Falcon Blade. There are some players that don't go Falcon Blade. I really like it on Weaver. It delays your Maelstrom by a bit, which delays your further farm, But you get a lot of mana for Weaver that way.
I personally think Falcon Blade is a necessity on this hero.
It doesn't have to be.
It's so squishy without it.
Like you can, there are other options. Like you can go Magic Wand and a Raindrop, something like that, to compensate. But I'm on the same boat as you. I always buy it.
So far, so good though in the bottom lane in terms of CS for this Weaver. And Dawnbreaker also getting decent CS for herself. We see Malady tanking up quite a bit of damage, but making space for Vazia to take the same from Shigetsu. Unfortunately though, too much sustain in both directions in this bottom lane, so nobody is going to die.
Dire's top tower is under
Top lane.
attack.
Nice.
Is that the
I
TP?
think that's gonna happen. It's a TP out. Shout out Lion. Woo. Daniel saving my prediction early on.
No, how does he save? If you get the first blood by minute 5, you won.
Yeah, but it has to be Primal Beast that does it. Primal Beast has to be the one that goes top.
I think you lost. I think you lost, yeah.
Wait, there's still time. There's still time. He's gonna get a bounty rune. Or the bottle refill. Anybody dying? Nope. No one's dead.
No one's
okay,
dead.
I lost. GG. Yeah.
I'll give you Tsunami's contact. You can give him the cash, and then he can give me. He's used to that already.
So who wins out in a game that looks like this yet again? Very static and quiet in the early game.
I think they're quite similar in the way they want to play the game. Both teams should be fairly active post the laning stage. So you want to do well in the lanes, but the lanes are even, so there isn't really any big winner. Besides the DK, he's definitely winning this mid lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And
attack.
crushing the mid lane matchup, and now he finds himself with the first blood bonus gold. This is going to change the game fundamentally. He gets to the 6 well before the Primal Beast and start applying pressure with not just level 6, but the Sea Dragon arriving at the same time. This is beautiful time to be a Malrine DK.
They want to dive even, like they have 3 heroes here.
Oh, look at this. They're actually going to dive with the Fortune's End onto Daniel, hoping to catch the Primal with it, but that doesn't happen. Daniel should end up dead, however, as he dies to the right click of Malrine after being set up with a nice Purifying Flames. And they're continuing the fight, looking towards Meliol's life. Malady forced to make a rotation, but Meliol might still be dead here. So much magic damage from Hellscream. There's going to be the Purifying Flames into a Fortune's End, and that kills him off, granting a double kill for Roger in this early game. This feels such a good thing to have happened to them as they also get a tier 1 tower. Malrine, can they get him out of here safely? Roger trying his best. They threw out all
still
the
fine.
spells. Malrine is still alive, regenerating with the level 3 Dragon's Blood, and he's A-okay. He survives, Lizard. They get the tower, they get the kills, they get everything in this mid lane for the DK.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Power spike from the DK, power threads, 2 bracers. He wasn't even really hitting that tier 1 tower. Weaver, Shigetsu, he might fall here as well. They have the silence.
Oh, he doesn't even get the Young Wisdom rune, so if he dies, it's going to be a death for nothing. But Vazia is also very low, eating a Swarm Bug.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the Weaver, it's only the level 1 Swarm, so it gets easily dealt with, but he almost killed it with Dawnbreaker in that situation.
Yeah, they didn't really want to fight him because he had Healing Lotus there. If they went on him, it's probably a bait, Raindrops, Healing Lotus, he survives. Yeah, like they need to recover elsewhere. This mid lane was a disaster, obviously. Dragonite has had way too much fun. Like you need this Primal Beast to perhaps rotate somewhere and recover, but... You know, my problem in this game for Navi is... Only thing Bloodseeker needs to do pretty much is rupture the Weaver throughout the game. If Dragonite has a good matchup in the mid lane, if he finds enough farm, like he can be the carry, like he can be the one buying Midas going like Black Dragon and stuff.
What do you think? Are we going to see him go for like Midas Axe for the DK this game as mid lane? We do finally get to see Meliol and the boys get a kill using like Pulverize going. And bottom, we might have another small skirmish here. Vazia's already used the Selly Hammer, but Malrine has shown up on the DK. They really want this kill on the Weaver. They might be forced to settle for Malady, or maybe just settle for the tier 1 tower as Malrine just pops the DK form. He's gonna dare them to come to him or lose a tower for doing nothing.
Radiant's bottom tower
Tide is rotating in. Can he def this? He does have Ravage and the Meme Hammer, but they need more.
Meme Hammer. Gets the stun out. Malady's gonna try and help out from inside the tree. Swarmbug does connect onto this DK as Melloyul also makes an appearance. They throw in the pulverize onto Oracle. They want to kill off the healing support first and foremost, but he's alive right now. Malrine able to get the turnaround onto Shigetsu with the help of the Stormbreaker coming in with the Solar Guardian. The DK now has more allies streaming into the fight. They look for Melloyul. Violent ruptures him for his efforts. Gets the kill, collects that lane tax for having made the rotation, and with so many heroes being available, surely they just push into the tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I think so. There's no Ravage as well. They should be able to easily clean this up. Once you go for the tower, you really want to take it immediately. You're playing into 3 and you'll just spam it up and if you don't, so... It looks like they will remain, at least with a couple of heroes. But that whole rotation by Navi felt a bit forced. They had the Ravage, sure, but the resources were lacking. They didn't have full HP, full mana on their heroes. Weaver was really low. He died while using time-lapse. Kinda unfortunate for him.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of those situations where you make that kind of move, you don't have the damage. It happened to them in the mid lane with Malrine, and Malrine is back middle again. His Midas fully complete. They are going to be hunting down Malady in the trees. They have vision of him, but he's a little bit too fast. Gets away to safety. They need to do something drastic, and that drastic measure is going to come from a smoke from Melloyul, moving with Daniel to the top lane even before the Lion has level 6.
Yeah, can they kill the Bloodseeker though? Let's see, he's got a lot of armor, but Weaver is also around. If they can connect with Shigetsu, he moved back.
Alright, he did move back. He should be dead here.
Anyways.
Have the pulverize if needed, but just some magic damage and trample ends up being good enough.
Yeah, even without the Weaver, more than enough damage.
We'll end up losing a tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, but they gained a tier 1 top. I guess we're not that far away from the Maelstrom being available for the Weaver. And at that point, we need to see Shigetsu really accelerate in the net worth department.
Yeah,
Have you always felt like this Weaver hero has these weird spikes where laning phase you feel very strong, there's like 20 minutes in the mid game you feel terrible, but then you become like this beast again later?
I think it all depends on the items that you're going for, really, and the heroes that you're playing against. Like, Weaver can actually be strong 24/7. Mid lane Malik, they're going on him. He's got Ravage if he wants to pop it. He's actually just fine regardless. I feel like that Weaver can actually scale linearly if he doesn't have a lot of catch on the enemy side. It's more about who you're playing against than anything else. Like this game, he might even opt to go get some Lincolns. You're playing into Bloodseeker after all, and the silence from Skyrat.
I was literally about to ask you about Lincolns for those reasons and the DK stun. I was like, that doesn't he just need Links, get himself out of trouble?
Yeah, I think Lincolns would be pretty damn solid for him.
It's game state middle. They're actually going on to this Tide Hunter. They're going to try to bring him down. They threw in the Mystic Flare. They even utilize the Solar Guardian to make sure they get that kill. Sadly, they don't find the deny. Meteor Hammer damage burns the tower away, but they still pick up a Tide Hunter kill.
Yeah, which is what they came for. He's gonna take that tower no matter what. He's just meme hammer spamming it anyway.
Very even game at the moment, still slightly favoring Nemiga, it feels like. With these heroes very much poised to keep scaling, but things could turn in a hurry, especially with, like you mentioned, this Ravage still being online. They have all their spells from Navi, so outside of the Weaver, they could try and make something happen before these major power spikes for Nemiga arrive with like multiple BKBs and the like.
Wish fulfilled.
I'm just waiting to see if they're going to use this Weaver more actively, and it seems like they will. They smoke him up, they move bottom. They're expecting perhaps Malik to be gone on, so setting up a kill around him would be a nice idea. There's also the 14-minute Wisdom Rune.
They had this high ground Observer Ward, which did scout out the Bloodseeker. but they should also know that Oracle is behind him. We're killing him, not that easy. Tumbler's Toy, Finger of Death, they get all the spells out, but there's the Oracle with the false promise. Ravage though arrives and connects onto 3, sets up for a kill onto Oracle. They really want to keep this fight going with the overgrowth, enabling them to kill Bloodseeker as well. But Vazia, what a huge star break in the middle of the fight, brings down Denial with the help of Hellscream. It's a 2-for-1 engagement, but they're still chasing forward for Navi. Shigetsu looking for a way to bring down these heroes, and they also onslaught into Malrine. He's completely isolated in front of the graveyard, and this DK will finally die.
That's a wisdom rune.
Sets them up to take a tier 1 tower. They get the wisdom rune as well as it respawns. Things massively turning in favor of Navi.
Yeah, huge mix-up for them. Thinking that this Weaver will farm or fight, well, it seems like he wants to fight some more. And it's such a good decision because they needed to come back into the game. They were struggling, DK was getting way too big. And now, yeah, they tamed the beast. He's 7.6 net worth and Weaver almost caught up with him. Like, really nicely done. Even the Ravage, he waited quite a bit for it until there's at least another hero. He clips the Dawnbreaker with it too. Like everything, the way they play this fight, Lion almost survives even going backwards.
You precious
Actually, yeah, he did die, yeah. So, well played by Navi.
Fantastic fight. They also get to finally kill Malrine, who was on a fairly decent streak as well, so gave away a bunch of gold in the process.
They're so unfortunate on top lane, like the Weaver just moved past them like a millisecond before they planned that ward. They see him now though.
Malrine is thinking about it. He wants to jump. Hellscream is a bit too far away though, so he can't close the gap for the silence into the Mystic Flare. And he's still alive. Mystic Flare does clip Shigetsu, but he will live. Daniel, not going to be so lucky, but his job has been done. He ran the interference, prevent them on going on the bug, and buys time for his carry.
He was also almost very unlucky because Rosh came out of the Twin Gate and hit him. So he stunned the Lion. He does manage to live. Tidehunter, however, can he TP out of this?
He's actually just standing around like he wants to fight here. He's got some backup coming. Meloyul makes a big move. The rupture duration is now over, so Malik is fine.
Yeah, he had that mech to work with. He never even used it. He was feeling alright. And they did use most of their spells on top lane, so he knew at max there are 2 heroes here. That's it. The others are on top.
Malrine is also going back top with Hellscream. They have 5 seconds until they have access to Mystic Flare. They would have loved to blink Mystic Flare with the DK, but looks like Navi played this very carefully. They laid out a sentry ward. As soon as they scout the observers, they immediately back off. Like Lion does the right thing, doesn't commit his life to D-ward, waits a little bit to see what's happening elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, he gets the D-ward now. No, like, I'm impressed by Navi and how calm and collected they were after a really bad laning stage. Like this is usually how teams do play with Tidehunter, right? Like you might not rotate a lot early on, it might be rough, but that first Ravage just wins you the fights. Or second in this case. Meloyul.
We'll see what this rupture does for them, because they rupture out onto Meloyul. Look who came forward though, it's Malady on this tree. He was hoping to overgrowth, but got instantly silenced by Hellscream, and they burst him down instead.
Top tower is under attack.
Weaver, Shigetsu.
Actually comes through the Twin Gate, able to time-lapse back onto the other side. They may be setting up for a fight here, as Daniel, he went through the Twin Gate, hoping to maybe find some impale targets, set up Malik for a Ravage, but instead just ends up dead. Nobody is getting through this area, my friend.
I think what he expected was a Weaver on the other side that he can help, but Weaver time-lapsed. Lion, unfortunately, does not have the ability to go back in time. So yeah, he's being very sacrificial for the best so far, and he's honestly not that far away from Blink Dagger anyway. 1500 gold. Like perhaps he could be a little bit less sacrificial and just finish off his blink in one of the lanes.
They perfectly
How far is he away? 600 gold. While Svazia about an equivalent amount of gold away from picking up a Deso, so a lot more damage coming in from Nemiga fairly shortly. But they can't do anything until they get this BKB from Bloodseeker, which is also not that far away from being complete.
Yeah, really nice thing for Nemiga is that they have these 3 cores that will scale the same into the late game. They have the Midas as well. So overall, come late game, I'm really not afraid for them. Even though they're playing into Weaver, I feel that they might be stronger. Violent. He's got the BKB.
Delivered right now, so you could try force a fight here. Ravage comes out, it's got false promise and he uses BKB. They're also bringing in the Solar Guardian as well. It crashes in onto Malik. At the same time, Meloyul goes into the fight, and with the help of Malady, they bring down Oracle, and now they pulverize and bring down the Bloodseeker. Finger of Death directly onto Vazia. Meeks, he's very low on the HP, and they finish him off with the Earth Spike. 3 heroes dead. That's the gold for the Blink Dagger on the Lion, and they knew that fight was coming. Nemiga, they thought they were set up to protect the Bloodseeker, but everybody who came to help him just ended up being additional victims.
Yeah, there's a really cool ward around the tier 2 tower on the mid lane, scouting a lot of heroes, so they knew what they're playing against. And Nemiga, they just aren't as disciplined as NAVI, I feel like. They're taking these fights 3v5, 2v5, just because it was a cool bait. They had the BKB, it gets popped on Ravage, like you have Oracle as well, but NAVI always bring that one extra hero, right? They always make sure that no matter what, we're taking you down. Even if you have that false promise, it's gonna be 5 heroes on you. So it won't really matter, you'll still die from the sheer damage.
Dude, I love Shigetsu's build. You went for the Manta style first, you know, it beefs you up as a hero, but also has you get the Dispel against the Silence, and then you get the Lincoln Sphere, so they can't jump you in the first place. And now, since you're killing a Dawnbreaker, there's some bonus gold for all of these items. As they give Shigetsu the kill, Vazia progression towards BKB has been drastically slowed down. And now V feel like they're in control of the game again.
It's pretty good, I like the build. You very often see some Dragon Lances, Kadi is just tanking up, but yeah, I do like the Lincolns. I think it's really necessary. Manta as well is a really good item on you. Not something that you see in every single Weaver game, but when you're playing versus Silence, like you mentioned, it comes in handy.
Helps him against the Silence, helps him against the Roots of Roger. Very good itemization, and right now it doesn't seem to need massive amounts of additional damage. His team is taking care of that very, very well.
They're baiting on the Bloodseeker again. He still has that BKB, obviously. A second less, obviously, but
they're actually going to smoke up themselves right now. Nemiga, they go in onto Malady, they should be able to burst them down. They come in with the Solar Guardian as well, but the beautiful chain disables from Daniel, opening up space on the back edge of the fight. Meloyul hunting down this Oracle with the BKB ready to go. They have the Ravage available as well. It stuns absolutely everybody, and they get rid of Roger. Now what can else they do? Daniel will draw stuns away from Malrine, as well as the Vazia Dawnbreaker, but that means that Meloyul can just easily re-engage. They really want this Dawnbreaker. She's so low. She's dying, but it's only Meloyul as well as Malik trying to make this happen. Fortunately, they have a lot of ground targeting damage, so we do find the kill. At the same time, Shigetsu, is he gonna get silenced here? He will. Can he get away from this Bloodseeker? He doesn't have any.
Let's go.
They're killing him. Violent really wants this kill, and Violent will get it. What a chase down from this Bloodseeker, and that is why you pick him into Weaver. Finally, Nemiga find a good fight where their carries and cores end up winning out, and they're not done just yet, as Malik looks like he wants to keep this fight going. They see that Violent is a bit low, but now Roger's respawned, giving Violent the backup that he needs. He's chasing forward. There's going to be a false promise to break away the Pulverize. He's still alive on Violent, but they needed to heal somebody up right now. He's still low on the HP. Meme Hammer drops onto his face. Malady held him in position for so long in this fight. Violent finally getting to drop down another Blood Right. It only silences up Malik on his Tidehunter. Somehow none of these heroes are dying, even though the fight keeps going. And eventually both teams will call a truce, call it quits, and end the engagement.
Breathe, Snare, breathe. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Let's go. That was a really long one. Just crazy fight, and a very even fight as well, because both of these teams had the ward on the cliff, so they saw everything that was happening. Weaver saw the Dragon Knight, Dragon Knight saw the Weaver, and like one of the reasons why Primal Beast and Tidehunter were surviving for so long is first they're tanky as hell, obviously. You're not taking these beasts down anyway. But Dragonite, he was always kind of like, he was in dragon form, but he was never really hitting anyone. He's just waiting for Weaver to show up so that he can jump on top of him, use that sun.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And I feel like for Nemiga, that's the main prize, right? Like, they did manage to kill off the Weaver, they didn't lose the Bloodseeker.
Dire's middle tower has
They should be happy with the fight. Plus, now they get the Aegis.
Yeah. A lot of positives happening for them in that engagement.
Roshan has
Aegis
fallen
going
to the
into the
top.
hands of Violet on his Bloodseeker. And even though they have a net worth deficit, they have managed to upgrade Bloodseeker and DK into those upper echelons of the net worth graph. Okay, we're about to finish a Mjolnir not too far away from this Bloodseeker as well. So that's going to enable him to keep farming on the map a lot faster than he is right now.
Yeah, it's much harder now to fight into the Aegis. Like, you can use that to ravage, but then he still has another life. You have to be really careful what you do and how you approach the fights. Most likely, like you mentioned, think just chill, farm up some more.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I guess Weaver after the Lincolns, yeah, Skadi of course. It's really good this game.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Scotty feels phenomenal. You have what, 4 healing heroes on the enemy lineup? Of course I want a Scotty.
It just tanks you up as well. It's, we'll see after that, maybe he can complete the Mjolnir. But first, the Sky, I love that they're actually the ones pressuring. They're the ones pushing high ground. It's like, yeah, Aegis, I don't care.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They're putting these meme hammer drops, and Nemiga have to make a decision. Are we coming back to defend this or just letting this one go? They do take a Tormentor in the meantime, getting some Shield of the Scion. Best upgrade.
Best upgrade.
It's so bad. In this game, it's like, I'd be so mad. If I'm Roger, I'm like, dude, you know how good Reign of Destiny would be right now?
It took me like 1 second to react. I'm like, wait, Shield of Sight, isn't that oh, yeah, it is the worst shard in the game, yeah.
Dire are scanning.
I guess some armor in this instance versus Weaver can come in handy if he gets on top of you, right? Like if you're spamming a lot of spells and he tries to kill you off, you have a medallion, you now have that bonus armor.
I mean, they have Swarm and Ag's Gush, so all of a sudden, I do want some bonus armor, thank you.
He's gonna die in 2 hits anyway, but sure.
No, it won't be 2 hits exactly, now it'll be 2.1 hits. You've made a slight difference.
What's happening on the other side, by the way? We talked about Weaver's items. Mjolnir completed on Bloodseeker, Manta on Dragonite to get rid of that overgrowth. It's getting closer to Axe as well. And Dawn just working towards BKB after the Dezo.
BKB feels very essential. She suffered that one death earlier on, which heavily delayed this item, but I don't feel like they need it. They still can keep the Dawn farming on the other side, try and muscle through this tower. Double damage rune on Bloodseeker for a few seconds. You know, level 2 DK ultimate. Yeah, this tower's dead. Like, they can save it for a little bit, but it's definitely gonna die.
Yeah, they're not even spamming. Just used 1 living armor and that's it.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Top lane, Meloyo does find Vazia, opens up on him with this Pulverize. There's the follow-up from Daniel. Did trigger the Blade Mail, so won't take the full combo just yet, which buys time for Roger to show up with some healing spells. They haven't even committed the full false promise, but now reinforcements are en route. Malrine, I think he put a little bit of vision onto Daniel, but not enough to start a fight. Daniel finds 2 heroes with the Earth Spike. Bloodseeker and Malrine, but they still have false promise ready to go. They pop it now, but the BKB from the Bloodseeker, he still gets held in place by Overgrowth, so he's gonna have to back himself up. Almost died through false promise. That'll end the fight nonetheless.
They're poking, they're prodding, but they're not really ready to fight on NAVI as well. They smoke up once again. If they can pick up these supports first, it would be good. Perhaps you don't even have to worry about Oracle, he doesn't have ulti anymore.
Oh, nice! And yet again, finding two heroes with the Earth Spike, setting up for an onslaught from Melayul. Ravage comes through as well. They've already killed off two, and with the Pulverize to set up for the Dawnbreaker, we make that three. Violet comes back from his first life, but in the meantime, Malrine was left all alone to fight against these Na'Vi heroes. A fight he'll end up losing as Melayul gets a double kill. Violet doing his best inside the base, healing up on the Bloodseeker though. Look at Violet go. He should be able to kill Melayul, get back the HP. Now he turns onto Malik as well. Malik ran down, giving a triple to the Bloodseeker. Shigetsu had to flee, run far away from the fight. But Violet living up to his name, turning it up against Na'Vi and saving his team fight as well as the team's game.
I was ready to like talk trash a little bit on Nemiga. I was like, what's happening? How are they unable to take any fights properly? It's not like they're in a bad spot. They're just letting Navi dictate completely the pace of the game because of the Ravage. And they're getting like these dual impales constantly off online. He's playing out of his mind. But yeah, Bloodseeker, like you said, saving the day. He's now got a full manta completed. He's getting really damn big, and he doesn't have to care about Treant Protector anymore, which is really huge on Dire. Like, he's one of the biggest issues that they've got right now. The overgrowth is stopping them from doing anything in these fights.
Oh my god. Just looking at the side again, you know, you always forget how value that Aghanim Shard is on Bloodseeker against these super tanky heroes. It was on full display in that fight. Well, we've got a game on our hands now, Liz. 1k gold lead only for Na'Vi. They did not manage to do real damage on any of these high ground structures. The next Roche not that far away from coming, so probably going to have a fight around the pits to determine where this game goes.
No, I really like it as well, and we're going to see some big items right on both sides. The Skadi will be completed on Weaver. After a creep wave or two, he should have it. Mid lane though, Roger
gonna get himself bursted down here, and they might keep going. Melayul going on the high ground, has Pulverize at the ready. Malady sets them all up with a 3-hero overgrowth. Malrine does not have a BKB to protect himself, so will be pulverized, will be killed off, and the rest of the Nemiga just need to flee. Hellscream barely manages to TP him out, but Na'Vi still showing they have a lot of punch themselves.
Oh, that's not Na'Vi, that's Roger showing himself a little bit too much. Like, he was way too deep. No reason being there. Gets picked off as Oracle. Like, yeah, you want a ward, but Oracle is just one of those heroes. He just completely changes the way the team fight is fought. And if you get to eliminate him first, like, you can win every single fight versus the team with Oracle. Plus now you're taking the gem away from them.
Oh yeah, he was carrying the gem, that's true. Okay, that's huge.
Yeah, bonus gem.
That's a big deal. Like a Treant Protector with a free gem? I don't want to play against that.
Yeah, good luck having any map control.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
You know, things are also starting to get to that very scary part of the game where Weaver is encroaching upon level 25. About to hit level 20 now. Has Daedalus being flown in soon as well. And Shigetsu, I mean, already been pretty decent with the damage output, but it's about to get absolutely insane.
Yeah, let's see the smoke. There's Aghanims on DK. Violent.
Yes.
He had the right idea. Like, his smoke broke, but Malik already moved high ground. Oh, this could be
That's one major advantage, right? Where for Na'Vi, they have, what, 4 different heroes that can initiate fights for them? Nemiga kind of only have the one in the DK, so if Malrine doesn't find a good DK stun, how do they even start their fights?
Yeah, they're not really starting. If you look at the way Nemiga is playing, they're always putting one hero up front and then hoping that someone goes on him. You use false promise and then you counter initiate. For them, that's probably the easiest way, but Malik, let's see, there's a good dire ward on the cliff scouting them.
They know this is coming. A lot of awareness about what this engagement might look like, but
they just don't know. They don't know when Roche can respawn. That's the problem for Radiant. So they might have to go in.
50 seconds. Oh, look at this, Malik. He misses the gush on the high ground, so that means the DK can blink out, but yet another great start from the Lion. Now they're setting up onto this Bloodseeker. Violet gets off his BKB, doesn't find the false promise just yet. Finally it emerges. It leaves the Dawnbreaker in the dust though, so Malik gonna be forced to die early on. Hopefully not.
Oh, the
They
finger. Oh.
violence, and they get the finger on him. It denies any additional heal. He dies. Malik's Ravage bought them enough time that they can control the team fight, kill all the main heroes to bring down, and force Nemiga to retreat to the base.
I don't know why am I expecting just so work to be done by Dawnbreaker and DK. They are literally, I mean, looking at the fight recap, they're really not doing a lot. Like Bloodseeker does 6,000 damage, meanwhile DK and Dawnbreaker they do like 2 each, and that's been the case for every single fight so far.
Is under attack.
The Ravage, I feel like in the fight came a bit late. False Promise connected on Bloodseeker, but he was silent, so he couldn't really do anything about that. And they still win a fight, even with the good False Promise by Oracle.
That was a great young finger of death. I think the main problem, Malrine spent a lot of that fight just trying to find who to deal damage on. And then he's like, well, I can't actually do anything. If they had a BKB on this DK, this could have been different. Because he had to spend so much of the fight as well, just ostensibly dodging stuns. Because if he gets stunned, there's nothing more he can do really. False Promise always has to get used on the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, that's truly the magic word, BKB, like he needed that. The magic item. Without the BKB, Dragonite, I feel like just isn't doing enough. Manta, Aghanim is great on him. Especially against the Treant Protector, but I guess Treant as well is not only the Toner, the living armor is really hurting them. Now you have Aegis, you have Cheese, and you're gonna have a refresher on Tidehunter. A full refresher in like what, 1,000 gold?
Yeah.
If you want to wait even.
They might as well buy out now, right? He just has, he can sell the cloak. Guess he's not going to use it for the rest of the game. Shigetsu needs a 4-star to keep him alive here. Actually took a lot of damage. Time-lapse is back into Nemiga. That's a confidence play if I've ever seen.
That was such a nice setup by Nemiga. They just didn't have enough control fast enough. I'm not sure. I feel maybe someone should have popped Lincolns like Oracle with Purifying Flames a bit sooner. They just didn't have enough control, and then Lion blinks in, forces him away.
Speaking of control, are you down for this nullifier? He changed his mind from getting Abyssal Blade, which he had queued up earlier for violence.
I did like the Basher as well. Right, just having the Basher to get on top of Weaver with the Rupture. To get on top of anyone, really, it helps. Some more control. Nullifier, however, he probably recognizes that he just has to deal with some of these spells, some of these buffs that are being thrown on. Like the Living Armor probably being one of the biggest ones. How do you fight the Refresher Tide, though? That's the question.
How do you fight Refresher Tide? Daedalus on the Weaver. A full heart BKB. SN Kaya coming soon with the Blade Mail Primal Beast. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very difficult. Not an easy endeavor by any stretch of the imagination. They're gonna try though. They're gathering themselves up bottom, and it looks like a fight might break out shortly as they smoke up Navi heroes, 4 of them moving forward. They're baiting with Shigetsu. They see Violent though. They know for a fact he has backup, but they have so much control. They get the swarm onto 2 heroes. There's the Blink Ravage.
And another one.
The Oracle. The second one will be there. Finger of Death onto Bloodseeker. He is dead. Malrine gets pulverized into a straight overgrowth, so he cannot escape the fight even with his BKB. And once this BKB ends, his life is going to be forfeit. They jump after him. He does manage to blink into the base though, so Malrine outplaying them a little bit. But Bloodseeker and Oracle not so lucky, and the buildings in the base not going to be able to move away as well.
He's outplaying them, but you just, at this point, if Bloodseeker isn't hitting him, there's just no way to kill the Primal Beast even. It's way too big. Hard, Kaya and Sanj, 5k HP almost. Like, look at him. And Living Armor on top of that. He's just... this is just looking nuts.
Still have 30 seconds without Bloodseeker. He does not have buyback. They are not aware of this, but once they see him not buy back now, they should be very much aware that, alright, we just keep pushing, boys. What a melee racks down bottom. Looking for a second one through the mid lane. Malrine will mount as many defenses as he can, but To what end?
Dire's middle
Know that they're gonna get the lane of racks. 2 full sets through mid, through bottom. And this game just looks much, much easier for them to play up until they get the W.
Yeah, Malik move back in, just uses that meteor hammer to complete the range racks. But if you're Navi, you have options. Do I finish the game now? Do I wait the refresher and ravage and then finish the game? In any case, it's their game to end.
Just got the full Mjolnir for Shigetsu, with the Titan Sliver available as well.
Radiant are scanning.
And unfortunately, we've seen this a lot with Bloodseeker, right? That if you miss your super strong timings on this hero, and the enemy team just gets an item ahead of you, it doesn't feel like there's much comeback for you anymore. Like Violence, is there anything you can buy right now that fundamentally changes how this game is played?
I think he's strong enough even right now. It's just that Navi is stronger and that's it. He doesn't even get to hit. They control him through the BKB. If he can get them down low so that the terrorist charges hit in, I feel like that Aghanim's shard could do wonders against the Tide and the Primal Beast, but you have 2 Ravages to work against.
Even Weaver's tanky enough right now that he should be worried about Aghanim shard. Has 3k HP on the Weaver. Nice, nice, nice. Feels good.
Suffering from success.
You're too tanky, so you made yourself worse against Bloodseeker. Well, Aegis will expire. I'm not sure that changes how strong they feel for Navi, but there's also no reason for them to rush, right? They can just control the map, wait for the next one. Like, you know that at least one of these heroes in the Dawnbreaker is also not going to get that much stronger by the time the next Aegis emerges, so there's no real rush. You can just start chilling.
Yeah, if they knew that there are no buybacks on all 3 of their cores, or they just need a little bit of gold, I feel like they could have easily jumped this with our Ravage. But like you said, it's a TI qualifier. This is probably the time to be as disciplined as possible.
Yeah.
Take it slow. The first game they won in what, 24 minutes? Like, they have more than enough carry on time for game 2. Carry over time, that is.
Everybody chilling. Lanes are being shoved out. Nemiga is stuck in their base. And you know, normally when you see a team stuck in their base like this, if they have like an Enigma, if they're the ones that have Tide Hunter, hell, even if they had a Shield Protector, then suddenly you feel, you know what, we can still take some big fight on the high ground, but they just don't have that. They have so few tools for large-scale team fight, especially large-scale defensive team fights on the high ground.
What's with the MKB Dragon Knight, by the way? Queued up.
I'm not sure.
Trickster's Cloak?
That is 17% evasion.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out as well, but I'm unable to. They do smoke up. Top lane, Violent is under vision.
Oh no, this is the worst person to catch first. He's under vision, only has a 6-second BKB. Does have Oracle to help him out, and there's going to be the first chain disable coming in from Daniel. False Promise will be needed here, and now the Ravage comes out, catches 3 heroes. They can run down Oracle and kill off Roger. He does have buyback. Meloyol though comes into the middle of the fight. Pulverize onto the DK, even through his BKB.
Ravage.
He ends up dead here. The second Ravage comes out. It doesn't catch all the important heroes, but it does set up an easier fight. In the meantime, Shigetsu is just cleaning up house. He kills the DK, he kills Violence, and now they're gonna kill off Oracle and remove Nemiga's hopes of winning game 2. GG, well played is called. Navi get the 2-0 and move forward in the upper bracket of the Eastern Europe.